What's up, everybody? This is Jose with Oakland Latinos United, aka Oakland Latinos Unidos, the voice of the Latino community on YouTube, the Bay Area, Oakland, and beyond. Well, I'm on here with a new video for you to enjoy, and I'm out here in my old hood, out here at the Oakland Estuary, over here by Jingletown, by East 7th Street and Chapman Street. You know, a lot of memories over here. I used to play over here as a kid. A lot of memories. There's the Fruitvale Bridge over there. But I had a video for you today on something I was thinking about a topic I was thinking about. And I want to title this video, The Anger Within. And the reason I call it The Anger Within is because there's how can I say it? There's a lot of people that are angry in the world, you know what I mean? And a lot of that anger especially affects men of color, particularly Latinos, Chicanos, Mexicanos, you know, raza. And it also affects black men and black people as well. And Latino women as well, men and women. But I want to talk about men. I want to talk about men specifically. There's this anger within our community, within communities of color, that does exist. And it's basically like a chip on the shoulder, and a lot of times it manifests itself in bad, tragic, and even horrible ways, you know. A lot of times it manifests itself in violence. A lot of times it manifests itself in spousal abuse, domestic violence, violence against other people, murders, robberies, etc. And what is the reasoning for so many men of color having this anger? Well, I would say there's not one explanation for it. There's probably 1,000 explanations of why. You know what I mean? Colonialism, 500 years of colonialism, oppression, you know, poverty, living in the ghetto, living in the barrio, you know, lack of opportunities, lack of good schooling, etc. You know what I mean? And I think that sometimes makes people angry. I think people in general are angry a lot of times. I think it's just a human emotion. But it seems like our people particularly are angry all the time, or at least angry a lot, you know. And that is the reason why there's a lot of murders, a lot of homicides, and a lot of crazy stuff within our community. And again, it's not to say that white people aren't angry. Of course they are, you know what I mean? I mean, look at how many white men commit school shootings and stuff like that. But I'm not talking about white men. I'm talking about particularly black and brown, but brown men. You know what I mean? Latino, Chicano, raza men. The reason I talk about this anger is because growing up in Oakland, growing up in the hood, growing up in a poor environment, I've seen this anger manifest itself a lot within my own family members, particularly my brothers. When they were young, they were very angry. And when you ask them why they were angry, you know, looking back on it now, a lot of times they said it was poverty, it was living in a bad neighborhood, and stuff like that. You know, my brothers got into a lot of trouble. They brought a lot of problems to the house. You know, some of them gangbanged, some of them didn't. Some of them sold drugs. Some of them used to commit robberies and break into houses and all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I mean? And that's the anger I'm talking about. A lot of times, men of color, we react without thinking. You know what I mean? We just react. You know, someone says something bad about me. Someone looked at me the wrong way. Someone stepped on my shoe. Someone bumped into me and didn't say, excuse me. We just react. You know what I mean? We just want to fight. We just want to, you know, fucking kill somebody or shoot somebody or go do a drive-by or whatever. You know, take him out of his misery. And usually it's for, like, petty, stupid bullshit. And that petty, stupid bullshit and that anger, you know what I mean, is what ends up a lot of us being in messed up situations, going to jail, getting killed, ruining our lives, getting felonies on us, and we can't find good work, vote, or do anything. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I think a lot of this anger and, you know, ego, machismo, whatever you want to call it, is driven by emotions, by ego. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to swallow your pride. Sometimes you have to tell your ego, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because your ego is like just this whiny little fucking just piece of shit that just whines and whines and whines. You know what I mean? and it's what makes you get into trouble and makes you get into problems. You know what I mean? I seen this anger and this reaction, you know what I mean, to just be violent out of nowhere just because someone said something wrong to you or looked at you wrong. You know what I mean? I seen it manifest itself a lot growing up as a kid. I seen fights break out of it. I can remember as a kid, just kids being just angry all the time, wanting to fight and cause problems. It wasn't everybody, but there was always that, the bullies or the ones that were just angry all the time. And, to be fair, I grew up in the same environment. I was angry for many years, many years. And I think a lot of the protesting stuff I used to do and political stuff I used to be into was part of that anger. I wanted to release it. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with releasing the anger, but I think us men of color, we need to learn how to release it in positive ways. Because a lot of times anger can be released into positive ways. There's an old saying, out of bad things, sometimes good things come out of it. You know what I mean? Out of tragic things, sometimes good things come out of it. And out of anger, you could convert that anger into positive stuff. You know what I mean? And there's many ways to do it. Meditation, anger management. One of the ways I learned to do it was through basically self-help stuff about killing your ego. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I even read some red pill stuff about killing your egos. Oh no, he read red pill. But I read a little bit of everything. I'm not a red pillar, so don't classify me as that. I read, different things about the ego. You know what I mean? So this is a trick this is a exercise I want you to think of. The next time your ego is telling you beat that person up, react like a crazy man, shoot that motherfucker or whatever for some stupid minor retarded thing. Does anybody out there remember how Goofy talks? Remember Goofy? I am Goofy. Remember how he talked? I mean, that's a bad imitation, but remember Goofy used to talk like that? Well, the next time your ego is telling you to hurt another man, imagine it's Goofy telling you. Imagine the voice of your ego being Goofy going, go kick that motherfucker ass. Because who's going to really listen to Goofy? You know what I mean? Goofy's a retarded dumb fuck. You know what I mean? It's probably going to make you laugh, Or think of just some retarded annoying voice that you would never take serious. You know what I mean? Telling you, Seriously. But yeah, I mean, the anger within us, yes, we have it. I agree. It's there. You know what I mean? And I personally believe it is because of poverty. It is because of 500 years of oppression. It is because of, just bullshit, you know what I mean, in general that people of color go through. So it affects people of color and basically working class poor people the most. It even affects poor whites, you know what I mean? And even poor whites that react violently can learn a little bit from this as well. You know what I mean? I think it's just a very beta male trait. You're trying to hide your insecurity by acting tough all the time and being angry all the time. When it boils down to it, it's an insecurity. It's a very beta male way of looking at things. It's very beta. It's not alpha at all. And it's just very insecure, very, how can I say? Just very insecure. You know what I mean? You're trying to mask your insecurities to the world with your anger and your violence and your stupidity at times. You know what I mean? And I don't want to sound macho and be like, oh, well, you're angry because you're emotional like a girl. No, it's basically you're acting like a beta. You're not acting like a man who should fucking grab his balls and be like, you know what, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to stand my ground, but I'm not going to be like that. To me, my thing is words don't hurt me. You can talk all the shit you want about me. To me, it's just, if you're trying to hurt me or hurt my character or do harm to me, that's one thing. Yes, I will protect myself from that, and I think anyone should. But if it's just some fucking moron who's either talking shit to me or said something the wrong way or bumped into me or something, I don't even give a fuck. I'm not gonna go and ruin my life for to appease some dumb moron who wants a reaction anyway. The thing is, a lot of other guys that are doing stupid things are angry themselves and they want a reaction from you. I mean, and the important thing is not to give them that reaction. You know, I've been in many situations where guys were trying to trigger me and trying to get me to react a certain way, and I didn't. And when I didn't, I turned it on them in many ways. And then they kind of respected me after. They're like, oh, okay. All right. You know what I mean? Because they seen that I wasn't going to lower myself down to a beta male level. You know what I mean? At all. So, yeah, just remember the anger within, the machismo, the ego, you know what I mean? The emotional, like, insecurity. You know, just work on it. And just be a better version of yourself and don't get into problems over petty stuff. And that's all I really have to say. This is Jose with Oakland Latinos out here in the beautiful estuary, Fruitvale Bridge over there. Over and out.